Okay, let's try this again. I'm trying to do an update to my channel, but my camera just not working right. So I'm very disappointed in it. I might have to take it back. It's getting pretty bad. I think it might be the drive that's in here that the media goes into. It just not working right. I just tried it with the SD card as my last resort. That if that worked, then that means the CFX Express Type A cards aren't working, but it doesn't matter because I'm trying to record off an SD card and it still did not record. And so half the stuff I said just didn't get recorded, but luckily I decided to check it and I'm like, okay, it's all on zeros, it's not advancing, so I mean it's not recording. Right off the bat, the first time I hit record, I turn on the power, hit record, and nothing. So this camera is very unreliable, and believe me, I'm gonna let Sony know about that. But anyway, since it's recording, let's go ahead with the update. So I've been out of the game for like 3 weeks now. I'm trying to like do stuff in my personal life, get things straightened out. One of them is trying to clean areas in my house that I've neglected, just because every time I come home from work, I just don't feel like doing anything. I just feel like just vegging out, just kind of decompressing, you know. But I have a feeling it's just because the hours that I work, it just sucks. You know, I go in at 10, I get off at 6:30, supposedly sometimes 7, just depending on what I'm doing at work. And then by the time I get home, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, you know, and I try to unwind, have a cup of coffee, just to get some caffeine in me so I can at least last a couple more hours before I have to go to bed. And it just, trying to get to edit some of the footage that I already have is just not happening, and I have to change that. You know, so we'll see what we can do. You know, maybe instead of just trying to stay up really late to try to edit, I'll just, you know, just figure a certain time. Hey, you know, I'm not going to go past, let's say, midnight. I'll turn into a pumpkin and then go to bed, you know, something like that. And I'm just going to have to do that. And then, you know, hopefully that cycle will come in to where like I come home, then I can do a couple things while I'm drinking my coffee instead of sitting around watching TV, and then maybe I can get to some of the edits. Even if I don't finish, at least I'm doing something and being productive towards this end of it. This is stuff that I want to do, I'm trying to do, and I want to just keep going on it because there's a lot of stuff that's coming up now. Since, you know, the first part of the year, the first quarter's over already, we're into the second quarter, and we've got the LA County Fair coming up next week. And as of today, I am filming this on May the 3rd, and I'm hoping to have it the same night out there. But the LA County Fair is coming on, then the following week is Comic-Con Revolution, and then after that is I might hit Universal Studios one day. After that comes Monsterpalooza, and then that I'm hoping to hit Anime Riverside. I'm going to hit all these little spaces and try to catch as much as I can and and edit the films, get it out there so you guys can view it. I just haven't been doing that. I'm just getting the mindset from work that I got to come home and still be productive and just rest when I sleep. That's the attitude I'm just going to have. You know, if you guys know, as you get older, stuff like that just doesn't matter anymore, but you kind of have to force yourself to make it matter and get going with it, or else you're just going in a rut. It's basically eat, sleep, work, take a dump. you know, those will be the only things in your lives that would, you know, I guess wind up being important to you. But there are other things that are important, like hobbies, decompressing, doing the stuff that you love to do, getting out of the house and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm trying to make that as part of what I do. So got a lot of things coming up. I just want to let you guys know I will be participating in some of those things. And, you know, any other things that are coming up, I'm thinking about going to HorrorCon in LA, but I kind of want to scope it out. I'm not really a big fan of really going into LA, but I might just get myself to go because it looks interesting, but I want to read up more on it. Then you got MorphinCon in Pasadena. I want to try to go to that and experience that and just show you guys what I'm experiencing. I can't really say I'm the biggest, Power Rangers fan, but I was viewing it a long time ago when I was a kid. And so it'll be kind of interesting in going into that and see what kind of reminders I get and some of the other Japanese animes that they had out there. I'm not saying that, the Power Rangers were anime, but, kind of gives you that live action anime type feel to it. But yeah, it's just things are coming up, things I'm going to go to, things I need to film, then edit, and then publish to get it out there. Whether you guys like it or not, but I'm just going to try all that too. I'm also prepping for haunt season. So I've got a couple of new lenses that I want to use where they're faster than the lenses that I have. So I'm kind of interested in how that's going to do in low light. One other thing, I want to try to get to Heroes and Villains over at Magic Mountain when it comes out. I think in July, I believe it is. So I want to try to get that. But back to haunt season. Yeah, I want to use some of these new lenses to see if I can get more of the house lit up and in focus, because when it gets too dark the camera just doesn't want to focus. Doesn't matter if it's a Sony, if it's a Lumix, if it's a Canon, or if it's a Nikon. If it's too dark, it ain't gonna focus, but I want to get a faster lens that'll light it up, and they had a couple on sale, so I went ahead and got them. So I'm going to try those out and see how they do out in the field. The other thing I want to do is I want to record in RAW. What does that mean, record in RAW? When you record in RAW, if you don't have your settings correctly, you can correct it in post. So it's like if the ISO, which is meaning you're making the sensor more sensitive, you can actually change that in post to light it up. Same with your aperture. You could do almost anything in RAW to get the picture. You can be artsy with it and produce it a certain way if you want. But I want to play with it and make sure that it's going to work, especially in low light, and see if I can adjust it and work with it, get used to it and stuff like that. So I will test that out the next time Eulogy Collective has another haunt going. I know they had one this weekend, but I'm not prepared for it right now. I still want to kind of mess with it and get that going. But yeah, just a lot of things that I want to do, just get prepared and stuff like that. And just mainly all I want to do is just get in the habit, film. Right after I film, I want to edit. After I edit, post. You guys get to see it. Just get in that habit. Instead of just filming, I put it on my computer, I colorize it, and that's about as far as I get. So I got to break that habit for you guys and see what we can do about that. It's just a mindset. I think it's just, I come home, I really don't feel like doing anything. I put in a nice hard 8 hours of work, sometimes a little bit longer, just depending. Like this last Friday, I couldn't get out of there until about 7:30. Wasn't too happy about that. When a situation happens, it happens. There's nothing you can do. It's out of your control. So I just had to deal with it and try to get out of there as fast as I could. And that was the fastest that I can get out of there was 7:30. So by the time I came home, it's like 8:30. There's really nothing you can do. And then, if dinner's ready or we have to go out and get dinner, and then I got to go get it and then get the dinner. And then by the time I'm eating dinner and trying to relax, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I can't go to bed on a full belly. That's just me. So I have to stay up, and then I wind up losing sleep that way. So that's why I got to change things in my routine and get that going, or else I'll just film stuff and not edit it, and then that's bad. It's just like, what's the point? What's the point in doing all this if I'm only going to do one step and not 3 steps? Just film, edit, and then post. Got to do those 3 things. Okay. yeah, but I have a lot on the books that I'm gonna be doing, and hopefully bringing to you. But I know when haunt season comes in, I'm gonna try to get as many scary haunts as I can. You know, not Scary Farm, Halloween Horror Nights, Fright Fest. Even try to go to the SeaWorld one. Some of the local haunts around here, like even the one, you know, not too far from where I live, you know, they have one, but I don't go to that. Go figure. Go to Fear Farm up in the desert. There's another one. Was it the Asylum one up there in Apple Valley, I believe? And I think there's another one up there too. I want to try to get, and then just film them, and hopefully they'll allow me to film them so I can kind of quote unquote promote, I guess. But I'm going to do all that stuff, and then yeah, just get all that stuff for you guys, and then, you know, the holidays will come and all that stuff. Whew. Just, it's just all the stuff that I want to do and just get it out of the way. But anyway, guys, that's like the update. I had other stuff I wanted to say, but you know, it just blew my mind when the camera just doesn't want to work. It gets frustrating to, you know, you got a piece of equipment that you kind of rely on, but it just fails you just time and time again. And I think this thing might get returned or have to go in for repair, because this is ridiculous. You hit record, if you don't notice the timer moving, you got to like pull the battery, because I don't know. It just, the confidence in Sony is so freaking bad right now that I'm really starting to hate the brand. And, you know, I'm going to keep the ones that I have that do work, but this one, yeah, I think it's either going to have to go and repair, which is so disappointing. You buy a new camera, you want a new camera, but then you're going to wind up having a repaired camera. Bullshit. I should be able to take this back and get a replacement, another brand new one, because this is bullshit. You know, so many problems in it, you know, just trying to get it record, trying to get it to wake up. So far, the picture looks beautiful, and the autofocus has been spot on so far. I haven't had a problem with that. I just only had one, and I think that's when the subject came too close to the lens, and it was out of focus anyway, because there's like a certain focal length with the lens that'll be in focus, and once you get too close, it can't focus, and it just gets blurry. You know, it just, you know, you can't be like right up against the glass and expect it to be in focus. There's like a certain point where you have, it's kind of like, you know, you get so close to your nose here and you can't really keep focus on it. It's the same thing as a lens. So anyway, guys, I think I talked enough and talked your ear off. I wanted this to be short, but yeah, just got a lot of stuff in the books starting next week with the LA County Fair. I want to go twice, do that. Oh yeah, there's the Orange County Fair, and then also I want to try to get to the San Diego County Fair. I just have to find out when that starts. I'll probably have to ask Janice, because she usually goes. So, you know, maybe I can go down with her or something like that, and we can both experience the San Diego County Fair. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate any of the comments that you make, or any of the likes that you put on there. Even if you have dislikes on there, that's fine. But I really appreciate you guys for watching. You guys take care. Have a good night.